He's been scratching his beard, Harry Symeou, about that question that I posed before the break. This is The Social. On talkSPORT 2 with me, Olly Clink, Harry Symeou alongside me. Don't forget the Premier League is back this weekend. We cannot wait. Going to bring you Newcastle against Crystal Palace here on talkSPORT 2. Probably the game of the weekend, that one, isn't it? Must be. Absolutely must be. Before that on talkSPORT, it's Liverpool against Everton at 12:30. And then Sheffield United against Manchester United at 8 o'clock. As well. Mention Newcastle there, Harry Symeou. Just before we get to that other question, there's some reports today, I think it's in the Mirror, that Smith Rowe has been linked with joining Newcastle United. That's a sign that raised my eyebrows. I think that's quite exciting. Takes a lot to raise these eyebrows as well. Do you think that would be a good signing for Newcastle?
Yeah, I do. I think Smith Rowe is a really talented player. I would say that when him and Bukayo Saka first broke into the team, a lot of us felt that Smith Rowe was the one with more talent. You know, Bukayo Saka had the pace and the sort of maturity having come into the side. But in terms of raw talent, you know, Smith Rowe was on that level. And that hasn't disappeared. All that's happened is that he's had fitness problems along the way, and as a result of that, he's found himself as a bit part player at Arsenal. I think it's really difficult to get back into the fold at Arsenal now for him. You know, Kai Havertz has come in and he's playing in that left 8 position, even over Smith Rowe. Fabio Vieira seems to be higher up in the pecking order at the minute.
Do you feel a bit sorry for him in that sense?
I do, because I think that it's not because of performances that he's found himself in this position. It's because he just got injured at the wrong time, and he was out at the wrong time when Arsenal made big strides forward. And Mikel Arteta's not been able to find a place for him back in the side yet. Also, the other position that Smith Rowe played really well for Arsenal was from that left-hand side, where he now has Martinelli, who's gone up a couple of levels. He's got Trossard, he's got Reece Nelson. He's got so many options on that side that, again, you know, it looks like Smith Rowe's fallen down the pecking order. Don't want to see him go, but if Newcastle could get a hold of him, that would be a really good signing.
Yes, because this is the only thing I did think when I saw that we were linked with him. I think, you know, great player, is so energetic as well. It's his off the ball work that I really like as well, and he just seems to fit that mould of an Eddie Howe player brilliantly, but also adds that creative side to things because he's a fantastic central number 10 as well. But the only thing I did think is, I mean, we've already got about 37 players that can play on the left. And it's a bit ridiculous, really. You know, you've got Alexander Isak who can play there. Anthony Gordon, who's probably been our best player so far this season. Harvey Barnes as well, who's obviously out injured. I just do sit there a bit and think, do we really need yet another left-sided player?
Yeah, well, it depends where you want to utilise him. Because, you know, a lot of people would argue that his best position is central. Now, he's done his best work for Arsenal from the left, and the statistics back that up. But he is a player that you could use centrally, and I think that's what people were kind of hoping going into this season, that he'd become one of Arsenal's number 8s, essentially, or the understudy to Odegaard, should anything happen to him. Touch wood, it doesn't. But, you know, that's what people hoped for him at the start of the season, but it hasn't really happened yet.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.